Welcome to another CalRTA short tutorial. My name is Sue Breyer, and in this video, the why and how of using Google Forms, I'll be showing you how to create a registration form using Google fillable forms, and how you might use this easy app with your CalRTA area or division. So let's get started. So what exactly are Google Forms? Google Forms are one of the over 100 Google apps available to those who have a Google account. It's a free online tool for collecting data using a fillable form. Google Forms allow you to create easy to fill out event registrations, surveys, or RSVP forms, but forms also make it easy to collect data, such as names, email addresses, phone numbers, and other personal information in automatically generated Google Sheets or an Excel chart. Now that we know what they are, why should I bother using these forms? Well, as a member of CalRTA, I might want to use Google Forms to collect event registrations or RSVPs for an upcoming luncheon or pre-retirement seminar. I might want to survey my membership or collect applications for scholarships or teacher grants. I may want to poll my board members or conduct elections. I might even want to generate some feedback on an event that my division has held or solicit directory updates. But the bonus in using Google Forms is that the data that is collected is automatically placed into a data spreadsheet or Excel type file. Now, to use Google Forms, you first need to have a Google account, and I covered that step in my previously recorded video, Why Google? So you might want to watch that video first. You can easily access it by going to calrta.org and clicking on that YouTube icon in the upper right-hand corner of the page. You can also search Create a Google Account on your computer, and that should take you to this form right here, which is very easy to fill out. And once you submit that form, you're ready to go. So let's spend the next few minutes looking at how you can easily create an event registration form using Google Forms. Once you have a Google account, you can simply go to google.com, as I have done here, or your Gmail account to access the Google Apps menu. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll see the Google menu, a series of dots in the shape of a square. I've nicknamed this the waffle. You click on the waffle to access your Google Drive, which is right there. Click on Google Drive, and when you're in your Google Drive, which is the cloud storage, you go up here to the New button, and you click on the New, where the plus sign is. You go down to Google Forms and click on that. And you are taken to the main page for Google Forms. This is the basic starting point for creating a Google fillable form. Notice that you have a place for the title. You have a form description, which is basically instructions that you might want to add. You have a box here that is for your questions or just adding an item, even if it's not a question. Over here on the right in this vertical bar here, this is your toolbar that you will use to create your form. Notice that you have a drop-down box with a default saying multiple choice. These are the types of responses you might want to have when you create your form. So you might have an item that requires a short answer response or a paragraph response. Of course, you might have a multiple choice question or even check boxes if you're providing more than one option for people to choose from. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do, of course, is to give your form a title. So once you click on the untitled form there, it will turn blue, and that indicates that you can start typing. So I'm going to call this Luncheon Registration Form. Now, in the form description right below, I'm going to add a very short sentence of instruction. Please respond to all items on this registration form. Okay, so I have my title and my description, and now I'm ready to add my items or my questions. Notice this says untitled question. I'm not going to ask a question on a registration form, but I do need to click on that to go ahead and add my item. Now, of course, the first thing I need to add is a name, and I separate the last name and the first name. It just makes it a little easier. Once I generate my spreadsheet, I can then easily alphabetize the registrations based on last name or some other item. So I'm going to go ahead and add last name. Notice that over here, what used to say multiple choice automatically changed to short answer. Google does anticipate the kind of response you're asking for when you type an item. So that's kind of a cool idea. Down here where it says required, I'm going to click right next to this button until it turns purple. That makes this question or this item required. That requires whoever is filling out this form, they must complete this item before they can go on to the next one. So now that I have my first item done, I'm going to go up here to the toolbar and I'm going to click on that plus, which is adding another question. So I have in my first item the last name. Clearly I need to now have first name. So I'm going to type in first name. Notice it changed to a short answer. I'm going to go down and make it required. And I'm going to add my next item. Now I have the name first and last. Now I need some contact information, and that could be maybe a phone number or an email address. Well, I'm going to require email address. Notice it again changed to short answer. I'm going to go down here and make it required. Go back up to my plus. I have one more item. Because our luncheon is asking for a choice of entree, I need to add a question that requires a checkoff box. So in the question box here, I might say, please check your choice of entree. Now, this is going to require a checkoff box, and so I'm going to go over here and click my down arrow, and I'm going to put check boxes. And in option 1, right here where it says option 1, I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to type in chicken marsala is the first option, and now I'm going to add a second option here for vegetarian lasagna. Okay, I am going to now make this a required question, and my questions are done. But notice in the upper right hand corner here where it says untitled form, my title down here is not reflected up there. So what I need to do is simply click on the words untitled form, and my title will automatically appear. Now, I might want to change this purple color and maybe spice up the looks of this registration form just a little bit. So I'm going to go up here to the Painter's palette, and you'll notice it says Customize Theme. So I click on that, and now if I want to, I can change the color to turquoise. I can change it to orange. I can make it green if I want to. And if I want to go beyond that, I can actually even choose an image. I have a number of images that I can choose from here already loaded. And notice on the left here that there are also a series of categories that you can choose from. So I'm going to go up here and let's make something colorful. So I'm just going to use the jelly beans here. Add jelly beans, and I need to insert that into my form. And at the top, notice it appears up here. And notice too that Google has changed this automatically for me to yellow to make it match the jelly bean theme up here. So now that I have my theme the way I want it, let's go up and see what this form might look like to somebody who is going to complete the form. So I'm going to go up to the eye icon up here, which is actually your preview, and I'm going to click on that. And what I see here is exactly what the people who are filling out the form will see. So I can check this for any typing errors, make sure that the format looks good, and when it's good to go, I can then go back to my editing mode by simply clicking on the Edit This Form icon down here in the lower right-hand corner. I click on that, and I know that I am in editing mode because I see my toolbar here. So now that I am ready to send out my form, it's good to go. I need to go up to the purple Send button. When I click on the Send button, you're going to see this box open up, and you're going to have a few choices here for sending out your form. I'm going to focus on these two right here. This first option is to email your form. If you choose to email the form, under the word email where it says to, you would need to type in the email addresses of everybody you wish to send the form to. Obviously, if you have a large membership, that's going to be a rather tedious chore. So the second option, which is much easier, of course, is to link. You create a link for your form, which can then be pasted into an email, into a newsletter, into a flyer, or even onto a Facebook post. If I click on the link, notice that a very long link is created for this form. Well, I don't want to include such a long link in any of my publications, so I want to go to this box and click on Shorten URL. And notice that Google automatically creates a URL or a link that is about 1/3 of the length of the original. Now I simply click on Copy to copy this link to my clipboard. Now remember, you can't see your clipboard, but it is in your computer, and I can paste that link in an email, into a newsletter, into a flyer, or as I said earlier, into a Facebook post and send it out. Once your form's been sent out, you can easily check the responses by locating and opening the form in your Google Drive. You can do that by either going to your email account, or you can go to google.com and access that Google Apps waffle icon up in the upper right-hand corner. You're going to click on that, go down to your Drive, and in your Drive, you should be able to easily locate your registration form. You click on that to open it up. Once you open up your registration form, you'll notice up at the top where it says Responses that there'll be a number there. This indicates the number of people who have already completed the form and sent it in. So I'm going to click on Responses, and I am now taken to a summary of all of the people who have responded to my form. I have their last names, their first names, and all of their email addresses, and of course I have their choice of menu item. And you have the option, of course, of looking at individual responses as well. So if I wanted to look at one person at a time, all I would have to do is click on individual. But one of the most helpful resources in using a Google form is what we call the sheets. And this is an Excel file that's generated automatically. Click on this green icon. Now you have an easy-to-read spreadsheet that has each of your categories listed here. The items are completed and listed as they have come in. Each of these columns can be sorted as you like for easier analysis. You can even print this form out when you're ready and use it as a check-in sheet at your luncheon. And that's all there is now to creating a simple Google registration form. Thank you again for joining me for this CalRTA short tutorial. I hope to see you again soon.